from Addison Library Adult Services. I'm here with Marti LaHood, and we are doing some chair yoga this morning. We're here every Thursday at 10 a.m. On our YouTube channel, and you can certainly register at addisonlibrary.org, but you don't have to. You can go straight to YouTube and search for Addison Library. And without further ado, I will let you all know we have bingo tonight. Bingo. If you want to register for that, we have online bingo cards, and we play usually about 5 rounds. So hope to see you there. Great to see you this morning, Marti.
Me too.
And I'm going to get out of here so you guys can get to your session.
Thank you so much. Hey, you guys, welcome. Happy Thursday. As usual, I'm so happy and grateful to be here with you guys. I can feel you energetically. I know we're ready to see each other in person. We're making the best of it. Today, I am in a hotel, obviously. It is my kids' spring break. My kids are still sleeping. But we are, getting a little bit out of Dodge and just, spending the weekend in a hotel. So that's why it looks like a hotel. But with just as usual, if this is your first time, listen to your body. This should not hurt. You should not feel uncomfortable. We're just working on gently stretching our body, moving our body. I don't want you to hurt after this. So if you're starting to do something that is bothering a shoulder, a knee, your back, whatever it is, just listen to it. I know we tend to just kind of push through things, and this is not the hour for it. So if we're starting to do something that bothers you, take that moment to close your eyes, concentrate on your breath, and relax, rather than trying to push through the movement. Okay. All right. Awesome. So we're just going to start off sitting in our chair. Today I am sitting in a nice, comfortable rolly chair, which I love because then I can roll back and you guys can see anything I need to show you. You can sit on your couch. You can sit on your bed, whatever feels comfortable. Just make sure that your hips are above your knees. That's going to release a lot of that tension we build in our low back. So if you are sitting on a chair or a couch that's really low, I suggest taking some pillows, maybe another couch cushion and putting it underneath your hips to get that height up, okay? Awesome. Just find somewhere nice and comfortable in your chair. You can lean back if it feels good. We're going to roll those shoulders up towards our ears. And then exhale, roll them down and back. One more time, big breath in. Exhale, roll them down and back. Keep those eyelids heavy. Take a moment just to feel the stillness. Release the tension that we hold through our body. In our fingers, in our face. Let that expression on our face be that of calm, peace. Taking this next hour just for ourselves. A little intention in our breath. As we notice how it moves in and out of our body. Maybe we feel it only in our belly. Maybe we feel it in our shoulders. As we take some time to really breathe with intention, we're going to try and expand where we naturally feel that breath. So just starting to lengthen those inhales and lengthen those exhales. Our breath is a very powerful tool. It's something that our bodies do naturally on its own. But we also have the ability to take it over. We have the ability to make it longer, make it bigger. Our breath has the ability to calm our nervous system, our cardiovascular system. Our breath has the ability to release pain, to even just change the hormones that run through our body. Our breath also is a great way to meditate. As we breathe with that intention, cultivating this process of letting go and taking in with each breath. As we breathe in, we can bring in good energy or good thought or good things into our life, to our world. And then as we breathe out, finding something to let go. Something that no longer serves its purpose. Whether a thought, a moment, a place, a person. There's always something we can shed. And there's always something we can take in more of. If we feel discomfort in our body, we can concentrate our breath into that space. Literally trying to breathe deeper into that space, bringing that good energy and oxygen in to heal, and breathing out to take away. I bring at least one hand to that low belly, if not both. So the very lowest part of our belly, beneath our belly button. So our hands probably are resting on our thighs. We're going to concentrate that breath into our low belly. So as we breathe in, we're going to fill that low belly as much as possible. And then as we exhale, pull that low belly back into our spine. Good. Every breath, filling that low belly. And then exhale, pulling that low belly in. Good. The more movement we get here, the more we move that low belly, the better. The deeper the stretch. We're not only moving our digestive system, we're moving that diaphragm up and down. We're freeing up a lot of tension that we hold here, and that cultivates this tension throughout our entire body. Through our back, through our hips, everywhere. And society has really taught us to suck in our guts and breathe these shallow breaths in our chest. And yet, when we're born as babies, we breathe primarily in our belly. We are belly breathers. Sometimes we need to refocus that breath into our belly. That helps us create a lot of space for our body, It also helps us relieve tension that we hold. It can increase our oxygen levels. Good. Let's move those hands now up to that lowest rib. So really feel that low rib here. Okay. And again, we really tend to breathe these shallow breaths just in our chest, forward to back. And yet our ribs are meant to expand in 3 dimensions, through our sides, even off of our spine. So as you breathe in, imagine those ribs are fish gills. Feel them expand out and just relax back in. Good. So don't try to pull those ribs in. Just breathe in, feel them expand. Feel your shoulders lift. And exhale, breathe out. Good. Couple more breaths. Now, if you only did this for 15 minutes a day, this would be yoga, and you would find and feel amazing benefits from it. I know a lot of people will ask, what are a few things I should do every day? And this is it. This is really it. We strengthen our core as we breathe in that low belly. We release tension. We bring focus into the now, into the moment. And not even realizing it, we clear our minds. Good. Go ahead and relax your hands just onto your lap. Take a moment just to feel this space. To notice any changes you've created. Notice where your breath moves through your body now. Take a moment to set an intention for your practice today. So whatever brought you here, whether it was to feel better in your body, feel better in your mind, whatever brought you to your chair. On your next breath in, I want you to reach your arms all the way out and reach them all the way up. Big stretch up. Exhale, hands together through center. Good. Follow your breath as you move. Breathe in, reach up. And then exhale, pull it in. Good. One more time. Full breath in, reach up high. And exhale. Good. We can start to open our eyes a little bit. And then we can move on towards the edge of our seat just a little bit. Know that the back of your seat here is always there for you if you need it. I love this rolling chair. We're going to bring our feet at least hip distance wide. It just gives us that stability and helps open up our hips. We're going to bring our hands onto our knees. We're going to move our spine here. So as we inhale, we pull that belly forward, shoulders back. Maybe we look up. And then as we exhale, we're going to round that spine, pulling that belly button towards the back of our chair. Good. So watch me move here. Breathe in, reach it forward. And then exhale, round. Nice and gentle movement. These first couple ones can feel really stiff and rigid, so don't push through it. Good. This is such a good one for your spine. Pretty much every part of your spine moves here. So if you wake up really stiff, this is a great way to start your day. I get the music going. Just a few more. Last one. And then back to center. Good. We're going to roll our shoulders. We're going to do one at a time like we're swimming. So one shoulder up. Good. Back and forth. Awesome. So these are so good for your shoulder girdles. That whole entire back part of your shoulder, it helps them move. Again, we hold so much tension in our shoulders. It helps to move all those tiny little muscles and ligaments here. Good. You might even feel it in these little parts of your shoulder. Good. And then relax. Perfect. We'll reset. So just big breath in, reach up. Exhale, hands in. Follow your breath. Connect that breath to your movement. The longer your breath in, the more time you have to move. Good, and release. Perfect. So we're going to move our feet out a little bit wider. So a little bit wider than our hips. Okay. We're going to lean forward with that right elbow. So we're going to take that right elbow onto our right knee. Perfect. So we probably already feel this little stretch in our back here, in our hip here. If we don't, we're going to take that left hand, press it into the thigh, and we're going to try and straighten that arm. Maybe we straighten it all the way. Maybe it's just little, just enough to feel that stretch here. Okay. These tend to be those achy muscles when we're really stiff. We wake up in the morning, we're just like, this is a great way to stretch them. Good. Sometimes I like to even just come here so that I feel the stretch and rub into that muscle. It's my nice cheap massage. We'll come all the way up first. You're very gentle. Wiggle it out a little bit before we switch. Good. All right, left elbow this time, drops down. Good, the side might feel different. We can bring that palm into our thigh, and we can try straightening it. Good. Again, don't worry about the way it looks. Worry about the way it feels. So if you feel it, don't worry about the way it looks. If you don't feel it, then maybe you need to open that chest up more. Maybe come back and massage this side. Good, we'll come all the way up, nice and gentle, and we'll just move it around. Good. Reverse that circle if you're doing circles. Good, and release. Perfect. We're working to those arms. So really depending on what you're sitting on right now is going to depend on how this feels. So our ideal, we're going to have our hands behind our back. You can grab for the back of your chair. You can grab for your hands. I tend to see that most people are too tight here to be able to grab your hands and not roll forward. So I like to grab like the back of my chair. Okay, if you have a towel close by, you can even use a towel. So I'm going to grab the back of my chair, and then while we're here, we're just going to pull those shoulders back, lifting that chest forward. We feel all of those muscles here stretch, which is exactly what we want. Okay. And if we feel ourselves kind of rounding to be able to do this, then we need to ease it up a little bit, okay? Maybe it's just bringing those hands lower, or maybe it's getting a towel so that our hands are further apart. So if our hands are too close together, it can make us roll. Perfect, and release. Good, we're gonna give our hands a little love. So we're gonna start off by just bringing our hands all the way up, little fists, and then violently open them up. Yeah, exactly. So we get that lymphatic system moving here. We got all that junk that we hold in our fingers moving. Good, we tire out our arms a little bit. Good, one more. And then release. Good, shake out the shoulders. Perfect. Good, it's also really good for carpal tunnel. It helps that inflammation and again, that lymphatic system get all that garbage out. So let's worry about that wrist right now, okay? So we're gonna bring that left hand forward. We're gonna palm faces me, and the other hand is gonna try and pull those fingers back a little bit. Now try to straighten the arm. That's gonna be the most important thing. Good. Just like that. You'll feel it in the front of that forearm. Good, go ahead and release that hand. We'll do the other one. Palms face me. And then pull those fingers back a little bit. Straighten that arm a little bit. Exactly. Good, if you don't feel it, maybe pull the fingers back. Maybe straighten the fingers a bit. Perfect, and release. Awesome, we'll reset. Big breath in, reach up. And exhale, bring it in. 2 more, find your breath. Last one here, breathe. Good. Awesome, perfect. All right, we're gonna move into those legs a little bit. So we're gonna start off with that left ankle on top of our right knee, just like this. Good, so if you need some modifications here, you can have that right leg straight, and you could bring that ankle on top of your shin, maybe ankle on ankle. Just that outer rotation is gonna be great for that hip. If you've ever had like a major hip surgery and they've told you to limit your outer rotations, listen to that, okay? If you're here and then you realize like you don't feel much of it, you can start to bring that leg up. If you have a towel, you can wrap that towel around your ankle so you can hold it here. Maybe just holding it here is enough, and then you can slowly bend that right knee. Good. Perfect. All right, so this really shows us where we're tight in our hips. So if we have that shin is pretty level, that means our inner thigh or inner hip is pretty loose. But if we're feeling it on our back and on our butt, that means the back end of our hips, the outer end of our hips are going to be tight. Okay. This is a really good one for sciatic, if you have sciatic nerve pain. It's taking that muscle in our butt and our back that nerve runs through, and it's stretching it, it's lengthening it. That is what's going to keep that nerve from being irritated. Okay, but don't overdo it. That could be a bad one too. Okay. If you start to feel like you've created space, you can even start to fold forward. Don't forget to breathe. Don't hold your breath here. If you're holding your breath, maybe you're overdoing it a little bit, okay? Good, 2 more breaths. And then go ahead and release. Just wiggle that leg out a little bit. And then we'll just switch, okay? So right ankle on top of our right ankle, on top of our shin. This side can be completely different too. So listen to that, okay? Again, it doesn't matter that we match that other pose. It matters that we feel the same intensity, okay? So for me, this side is a lot worse. That knee is a lot higher. I'm feeling it in my back part of my hip and my butt, but I'm also feeling the inside too, okay? That's normal, especially in our hips. So just give it a little bit of time. You'll start to feel it open up. And when you do start to feel that space, you can fold more into it. Don't forget to breathe. Just a couple more breaths. Really start to feel that space open. Good, and then go ahead and release. Shake that leg out. Shake both of them out. Really, hopefully you feel that space. Good. So for this one, we're gonna stick to our legs just for one more pose. So you wanna have a little bit of space between you and the back of your seats. Okay, you can make adjustments as you need it. We're gonna take that left thigh and we're gonna bring it in and we're gonna sit all the way back. Good. All right, so just like this. So if this is too much, you can have your hands behind your thigh. You can grab yourself a towel. Okay, this is all about the mobility of that hip. So we're just gonna stay right here, feeling that mobility here. Okay, so again, that's why it's nice to really lean back in your seat here. And then once we're here, we're gonna take those toes, point them down, and then point them up. Okay. Back and forth. Now, if your hands are on your knee, you can feel those muscles here engage. This is great for that knee. It really keeps that knee strong. And these muscles are what keeps that knee in place. Okay, so nice and slow. Perfect. We're gonna make big circles with that ankle, nice and slow. We'll feel some more muscles start there too. Reverse those circles. Good, relax that foot. But now we're gonna make little circles with our hip. They don't need to be big. Yeah, awesome. Just make that movement. So this is more about just the mobility of our hip joints than it is about a stretch. It's literally taking that joint and moving it, which is what we need to do because we tend to only move that joint one way constantly. So this is a great way to lubricate the rest of that hip, keep that rest of that hip moving, clear out any junk, and then release. Good, go ahead and release it all the way down. You can stay leaning back if that feels good, because we're just gonna pull that other knee in, hug it in. Okay, find what feels comfortable. This side might be different. Go ahead and then move those toes, flex them down, relax them up. Feel those muscles. Good, now make those big circles. Nice and slow. That way you can feel that movement, you can build that strength. Reverse that circle. Good, relax that foot and back to the mobility of that hip. So nice little circles. Good, reverse that circle. Perfect. Go ahead and relax. And then we can sit all the way up. Good. We'll reset. Big breath in. Reach up. Big stretch. Exhale. Bring it in. 2 more. Breathe. Full breath. And exhale. Last one feels really good to reset. And out. Perfect. We're going to move our spine again. So feet are wider than hip distance. Hands are on our knees. We're going to move that belly button forward, shoulders back. And then exhale, round. Just 2 more of these. Great way just to check in with our spine. Last one. Good. Sit all the way up. Perfect. We're going to give our arms a little love. So arms out nice and wide. Palms face me. And just give yourself a nice big hug here. Great. Whatever feels comfortable. Again, listening to your shoulders, listening to your back, to those rotator cuffs. If this hurts, if it's too much, don't do it. Okay. And you'll notice I'm sitting up nice and tall, but a little bit of my upper back here has naturally rounded. Okay. Because we're starting to kind of separate those shoulder blades. We're stretching a bit of that out. So as we concentrate on our breath here, see if you can breathe into the space between your shoulder blades. Okay, a couple more breaths. Good. Perfect. Last one, last breath. Remember what arm is on top. And then we're just going to switch, opening up nice and wide first, pulling that chest, that heart forward, and then switching. Other arm on top. Good. Same thing. Listen to that body. So if this hurts or there's discomfort, don't push through it. Okay? Sit up tall, but you're going to naturally feel that upper back round. Take a few breaths. Really send it into that space between your shoulder blades. Good. Last one here. And then release. All right, we'll give those arms a break. We'll go back into those legs. So depending on what you're sitting on, it's going to make a big difference how you're going to do this. So not a big difference, but you'll just have to modify. So we're going to turn ourselves as much to the left as we can. So we're like kind of sitting side saddle. Make sure your butt is on your seat so you're not going to fall off. And then we're going to take that right leg and we're going to step it off as far as we can off to the right. Got to adjust yourself as you need. Perfect. So if you're noticing or feeling that you're leaning back, try to pull those shoulders back on top of your hips. I want you to feel this stretch and that hip and the inner part of that thigh. Okay, so toes can be pointed up, toes can roll down, they can point that way, that way, that way, wherever it feels right. Okay. Okay, don't choose the easy one, like where you don't feel the stretch. Just feel the comfortable one. Okay, where you do feel the stretch, but it feels right in your knee and your ankle. Good, and again, keeping those shoulders on top of our hips. I'm just realizing sitting on like a chair that like swivels is kind of hard to do this because it just wants to bring me back in. Good, we'll sit up tall, and then this time we're going to take that right hand to the right thigh. We're going to take that left shoulder, and we're going to pull that left shoulder back as much as we can, okay? And then we're going to walk that right hand down just a little bit. It probably doesn't take much to feel it on the top of that back part of our hip. Don't fall off your chair. Breathe. Keep pulling that left shoulder back. We have such a tendency to hold our breath, like in a position that is maybe a little tough. We do it when we're trying to lift something heavy, when we're scared, when we're mad, and really it cuts us off from utilizing that breath, the benefit of that breath. Sometimes we have to remind ourselves to breathe. One more breath. Okay, and then go ahead and release. Bring that leg in, come back to center, and then we'll switch. So then turn side saddle to the other side, to the right. And then we'll take that left leg and reach it off. I feel this side is way different. Good. I'm gonna use the door jamb to keep myself here. Again, just feel that inner thigh, that inner hip muscle. If you're leaning back, try to pull those hips or shoulders right on top of our hips. Play with where your toes point here so that you feel that stretch. Keep pulling that shoulder back. Good. And then when you're ready, left hand, left thigh. Keeping that right shoulder back. I want you just to walk it down an inch or two. Not a lot. Good. Feel it in that outer hip here. Breathe. One more breath. And then release. Yes, come back to center, shake it out a little bit. You might feel kind of weird in our hips. Good, we'll reset. Big breath in, reach, stretch. Exhale to heart. 2 more. Find your breath. Last one. Gosh, makes me yawn. And exhale. Perfect. We're going to give those rotator cuffs a little love here. So these parts of our shoulder, if you do have rotator cuff problems, just listen to it. If it gives you any problems, scale back a little bit. But these are typically pretty good for people with rotator cuff problems. But again, it's one of those things if it doesn't feel right, you don't want to agitate it, okay? Bring those elbows into our side. We want to keep those elbows here. So we don't want those elbows, we're not doing chicken arms. Elbows into our sides, keep them there. And then circles with those hands. Good. So you don't have to use momentum here. So just nice, slow circles. Now, the bigger you make them, the more it's going to move those muscles and ligaments, but it also might hurt more. So if it hurts more, do smaller ones. Okay. This literally will move all 13 of the muscles in a rotator cuff. So good for us. It really is important to keep those muscles strong and loose. So not only is it strengthening it, but it is stretching it. So I had really bad rotator cuff problems I suffered for it for a couple of years. And I finally was given a tennis ball on a string, and I was just to swing it around. And it was night and day for my rotator cuff. Literally, it was probably the first time I felt healing in my rotator cuff almost immediately. And they told me that even just doing this exercise will bring me comfort and ease that tension. And it does, still to this day. Reverse those circles. Again, keep those elbows in. Don't forget to breathe. Good. All right, keep those elbows in. Now the hands come out wide. All right, so imagine we're one of those little monkeys with cymbals, Yeah, cymbals. And we're just, elbows stay here, and then we're just gonna bring them in and out. Sit up tall, don't let this round you here. Good, nice and slow. You're gonna feel it in the front of those shoulders, those shoulder tips. Two more. Last one. Good, we're gonna open up nice and wide here. Okay, as wide as we can. And then we're gonna reach those arms all the way up, keeping those arms, elbows wide. Big reach up towards the ceiling, and then exhale like we're pulling them back down, like we're pulling a bar down, and we're trying to pull those elbows towards each other on our back. Good. All right, reach it up. Reach. And exhale, pull it down. Pull them together. Two more. Nice and slow movements. Really good for our shoulders. As long as it feels good to you. And then release. All right, we'll give those arms a little bit of a break. Okay. All right, we'll go back and move our spine. Just check in with our spine again. Feet are wide, at least hip distance apart, not wider. On our knees, we're gonna move that belly button forward. And then pull it back. Good. Good. Any movements here that feel good at this point, go for it. Just good to check in with that spine. We should feel a lot of freedom here. It should feel very different than our first couple. And if we don't, that's okay too. This means we need some more movement for our spine. Perfect. 2 more. And then relax. All right, we're gonna move our feet wide, pretty wide, like way wider than hip distance. Perfect. So make sure that you have some of your butt on your seat so you don't fall off. We'll bring those hands, those elbows to our thighs or knees. Good, we're already feeling this in our hips for a lot of us. This is also really good for our low back. It's forcing that low back to lengthen. So it kind of curves that low back. So if you stand for periods of time and you feel like that tension in your low back and you're just like achy there, this is a great way to lengthen it, just as long as it's not feeling like just too much. Okay, the hips, our feet being wide, it kind of stabilizes our hips so that length in that pelvis is nice and gentle. Like that pelvis is just kind of tilting just a little bit. So for a lot of us, we can stay here. If you feel like you need more, bring those hands down to the ground. Good. Perfect. So you can let your head hang heavy. You can let your hands touch your toes. You can concentrate on maybe pushing that tailbone down into your seat more because it'll lengthen that low back more. It really just depends on your body, so listen to it. If this feels great, stay here. It's great for your hips, your low back. Getting that head below your heart is good for it's good for your brain. It brings us fresh blood flow to it. It's like that lymphatic system of just kind of cleansing out the garbage and getting some new stuff up there. Breathe. Okay, just 2 more breaths. Oh, I just read a great article saying how good this is for your skin and for the bags under our eyes. So super benefit. All right, this can make us dizzy coming up. So we're gonna start off, just close your eyes, bring your elbows to your thighs. Let's take a few deep breaths here. Good. We can take as much time as we need. If we're ready, we can sit all the way up. I like to keep my eyes closed. I'll take my hands, reach them all the way up. Just a big stretch. Hands to heart. A few more breaths here. And again, those movements where we get our head below our heart can just make us dizzy. All we need is a few breaths. Much easier to do that with our eyes closed if it's making you dizzy. Go ahead and take more time if you need it. If you don't, if you're ready, open those eyes. We'll just reset. Big breath in, reach those arms up, big stretch. Exhale, hands to heart. Good, 2 more just like that. And breathe. Good, last one. This is exactly what I needed this morning as I embark on an adventure with my 2 teenagers. Shoulders roll down and back. Chest lifts high into our thumb knuckles. Take a moment to seal in the practice. Bring our thoughts and our intention back to what brought us here today. This good energy that we're radiating through our body, letting it surround us. letting it interact with others. Take one more breath here. And release. Okay, we're gonna get somewhere really comfortable in our seats. Since we are at home, you can always take this time to hop into bed or hop onto a couch. Our Shavasana just means the end or the death of our practice. So it's all about getting comfortable and getting to a space that you can relax. So find something that works for you. Maybe it's just leaning back into your seats. Whatever it is, don't let it be something that we hunch forward, okay? I don't need you to be stiff and rigid, but I need that spine to stay long, okay? Take any wiggles out of our body that we need to take. Palms can be placed face down, they can be up. They say that if you need to feel grounded, palms down. And if you're looking to invite good energy into your world, palms up. I feel like I always want a little bit of both. So I do one palm down, one palm up. You can also do that and bring a hand to your heart. Find something that feels comfortable for you, that resonates with you. Let your eyelids close. Tap into the expression on your face and throw a smile on it. A smile for this hour, for this gift that you gave yourself, this discipline that brought you here today, this love and admiration for ourselves that made this happen. Let that smile slowly turn into an expression of peace. Knowing that we are exactly where we need to be in this very moment. This very now. We are safe, we are happy. Let those eyelids get heavy. The skin on your forehead gets soft. And let your tongue drop away from the roof of your mouth. Let your lips split open just a sliver. Feel that whole jawline soften. And start to melt into your seat. Feel that breath move. Feel that exhale soften. Feel those earlobes melt down to our shoulders. And our shoulders melt away from those earlobes. Tapping back into that awareness of our breath. Noticing where it's moving, where we feel it. The beautiful changes that we've created in it. And just the immense amount of gratitude for it. It is our life force. And for all the things that we get down on our body for not doing for us, there's so much that our body does for us. And this one is number one. Continuing to take those long breaths. Noticing and feeling those pauses between our inhales, our exhales. Those moments of just pure stillness. Start to wiggle your fingers and wiggle your toes. Bring some gentle movement back into your body. Roll your shoulders just a little. And when you're ready, take a big breath in as we reach those arms all the way up towards the sky. Exhale, hands in front of your heart. Lift your chest high into your thumb knuckles. Shoulders roll down and back. If you're laying down, stay exactly where you're at. Thank you for sharing this space with myself and those that are around us, whether near or far. We always end our practice with namaste, and that means the light in me honors that very light in each of you. Namaste. Thank you so much, you guys. It is always a pleasure. I look forward to the time we get to see each other in person. Until then, I'll just have to feel you guys energetically, as well as the little numbers I can see you. If you ever feel like you have a question, a comment, or just want to say hi, there is a little chat box. It appear as a little orange round thing with a box in it. You just got to press on it and type away. All right. Have a great weekend. Jody, as usual, thank you so much for having us and, really having this platform for us.
Thank you so much, Marti. It was beautiful. What a terrific session.
Thank you.
All right. See you soon, everyone.
Bye.